I was expecting these mud flaps to be rock hard, but I'm really impressed how flexible they are. Look. Now, one of my main concerns was if I fit these mud flaps and I go off-road, are they just going to shatter and split? But you can see here, look, they've actually got a load of flexibility to them. So they're a really nice material, and they're pretty easy to fit. So it's literally just, I think, 3 screws front and back. The old ones might be a bit tricky to get out, but don't throw them away, because certainly with the front ones, I found that the screws aren't really long enough and good enough quality. So if you've got some good ones that you're pulling out of the vehicle, I'd probably use those again. No problem on the back ones, because the screws you get are nice and long and have really good purchase. Now this is the front. I've already done the left-hand side because I wanted to make sure I didn't look like a fool and knew how to do it. So there was one little detail that was a bit tricky to work out. So watching this video is going to be useful to you if you're going to be fitting mud flaps to your own Discovery 3. When you actually get both of these, they have this support plate which is nicely finished. So it's not just an e-coat, which is that basic smooth black paint that you get on a lot of parts. It's actually got quite a durable finish to it, which is good because obviously there's a lot of mud and everything that's going to collect in that area. You don't want these rotting away too quickly. So you've got to actually insert the support bracket into the mudguard itself. That gives it the strength where it's mounted, which is what we want, because the rest of it can be as flexible as we like. Lock in your first angled tab at the bottom, then the other 2, and then it just flats down and it's molded to shape. So the quality of these is really good. I'm really impressed. It's obviously you know, an aftermarket part, but it's using the Land Rover design, even to the sort of very small details of this edge on the moulding. Okay, so this is in the front wheel arch on the right hand side, and we've got 1 screw down here, we've got 1 screw up here, and then if we go underneath, there should be 1 round about here. Okay, so all of those 3 have got to come out. I am using our cordless ratchet driver again, which you might have seen before. So this is a Ryobi tool. It's not sponsored or anything, I picked it up from Halfords, but for the price it was 150 quid. With a charger and a battery and the unit that was on offer. But what a cool bit of kit. Don't go in here with this if you're worried that you've got rotten screws, but you can just get a gentle start on them. And that's what you're hoping for. So these are nice and long, and what we're going to do is we're going to use these again, and I'll show you why in just a second. Now on the other side, the underneath one had rotted. Now I've put some WD on there in preparation. Right, that's our rusty one. Not the end of the world, we can use that again. On the other side, I did have to put quite a bit of pressure on it, because when it's on, the holes tend not to line up perfectly because it's a tight fit. So you're trying to compress this lip, because that will stop moisture getting in behind the mudguard. Right, I've tried to punch up the exposure a little bit so you can see me working on this, but I'm actually going to be putting these screws in at an angle so I can get them to lift it up. What that's going to mean is the bottom one's going to be quite hard to get to, so we don't want to do them all up tight. We have to do each one in stages. You know what, I'm going to try the top one first. That to me seems like the most likely to go in, and it'll just hold it in place. Right, that's one. The bottom one is a bit trickier because you've really got to pull it towards the back of the vehicle. Beautiful. That's gone in a treat. Look at that. Right, we'll just do our top one up now because we didn't do it all the way. One at the top, and down here, and then I'll show you this one from underneath here because it's a bit easier. You can just hopefully see in there. So they are a nice tidy fit, look, no gaps at all. Even follows the contour of the sill. So, made up with that, let's do the bag. So we have 2 screws to remove on this one. We've got this one here, which sits, we're coming into the vehicle from here, and it sits just there. So we've got to remove this one. And then underneath, this is a bit trickier. So show you where it is. You go underneath the rear arch. So you're now just looking underneath, and you've got this. You've got another screw here to remove. Hopefully you can see that. It's just difficult because the sun, but there's the other one underneath. And then if we look in here, back of the wheel arch here, you can just see the tyre there, and we've got this bracket. So this is where we're going to fit a block to receive a screw, and there's a bracket that goes from here around there, and I'll get it in place and it'll make a lot of sense, but that's it without it fixed. Again, we've got a bit of a rusty one here. Has he put a slot in this one as well? Yes. Good chap. This could do with some lube actually. Now again, if you haven't seen the other video where I use this, or it's not come out yet, I'll remind you, because this is the new delivery nozzle from WD-40. It's got like a bendy metal straw. It's so useful because literally you can just now go up, look, and you'll see in the other video I really did get somewhere inaccessible with this, and it made all the difference. So yeah, check it out, it's worth having. So this is one of the brackets you get, and you have to put your retainer in there, and you get another one you put into that square that I showed you before underneath. So I'm going to use one of our original screws, the one from inside the wheel arch is the best one, to fix this into that position. So we've got our bracket in place, it's fixed with one of our original screws into the speed clip, bracket goes round, then it faces the wheel arch, trim facing forwards, and there's our tyre. So you can see how it's orientated, because it's really difficult to explain or understand from the instructions. And to be honest, that is really the only hard part of this installation, because we've now just got the 3 fixing points. We've got the additional one which we've added at the bottom, we've got the existing one which you had at the top, and we've got the lower one which goes into the sill. So it is just pretty easy. And the nicest thing about this kit is they give you some super long screws, ideal, look at that, and some nice washers. So you can get proper good purchase, because you do have to wrangle it slightly. So I wanted to show you what a great fit this mudguard is, look. You can see here how it follows the contour of the back there. I mean, that's definitely a factory fit, I love that. And the fact is that they are flexible. So, you know, we're not going to worry about going off-road, and let's just hope they keep the shit off the truck.